Hello students, now today I will discuss about the seeds and their structure and sowing of the various crops. In this chapter, we will understand and about the seed and sowing of the various agricultural crops as on the following topics. These topics are definitions of the organic seed, second, dormancy and method of the breaking of the dormancy of the seeds, and third, mainly importance of the seed and planting materials in the farming. Fourth is to assess the seed rate and sowing methods of the different agronomical crops, fruits and vegetables, etc. Dear students, we know that seed is the most important input in a crop cultivation. Seed is too often overlooked as a fundamental piece of our food and agricultural systems. Yet this tiny resource has enormous impact on how we farm and what we eat. When farmers plant their seed each spring, they rely on the genetics content within to help defend those plants from pests and diseases and to withstand weeds and weather. Good quality of seeds. First is planting materials should be the reasonably pure and free from the insect damage and disease. Only healthy seeds of suitable variety should be selected. There should not be any mixture of the seeds of other varieties or weeds. The seeds should be purchased from a reliable sources and it should be organically certified. Time of sowing is one of the important aspects in obtaining the good germination of the seeds. It has also marked influence on the yield of the crop. Farmers have been producing the seeds and planting materials over the years to suit the ecological, nutritional, tastiness, medicinal, fodder, fuel and other demands. These are called farmers varieties or land races. Farmers varieties are also referred to as indigenous seed. It may be also take as a organic seeds. So, native seeds are organic seeds. Second is structure and germination of the seeds. What is the structure of the seed and how to germinate it? So, the seed in a plant is the part that develop from the various after fertilization from the ovules. They are enclosed in the fruit which develops from the fertilized ovary. The seeds are formed as a result of sexual reproduction and contain the young embryo which can develop into a new plant. Seeds are used as propagating material for crops such as cereals, legumes and trees as well as vegetables also. An organic seed is the seed from the plant grown organically and certified or could be seed from the farmer varieties or this varies subject to certification by an according certifying agencies. Now, what is the structure of the seed? Seeds of different plants may vary in the many way, but the basic anatomy remains the same. A typical seed consists of the following parts. A. Testa. The testa is the seed coat, enclosed and protects the seed from the insect and fungal. It is usually hard and dry. Second is micropyle. It is a hole which admits water when the seed start to germinate. Third is cotyledons. It is also parts of the seed. Modified leaves containing the food reserves. Fourth is radicals. it is the embryo roots, and next is epicotyl, the section of the stem above the cotyledon stalk. Seed germination. Now, we will discuss about the seed germination. Germination is the process by which the embryo grows and develops, eventually becoming a fully mature plant. It is a process of emerging out the radicle and plumule from the seed coat of a seed under favorable conditions. First, the seed absorbs the water, which causes it to swell and activate the different enzymes in the endosperm. This process is termed as a imbibition. However, the nature of these seed coat determines how rapidly water can be penetrate and subsequently initiate the metabolic process of the germination. The nature of the germination differs with the types of the seed. For examples, monocot seed like that maize has a different germination pattern in the comparison to that of the dicot seeds. Now, we will discuss about the monocot versus dicot seeds. Monocotyledons and dicotyledons seeds can be differentiated according to a number of the features. In a cotyledons, monocot have cotyledons within their seed and dicot seed have two cotyledons. Second is leaf veins. It is also differentiated between the monocot and dicot. So, in case of the leaf vein, monocot shows parallel venation, whereas the dicot display the reticulated venation. On the basis of the roots, what is the difference between the monocots and dicots leaf? On the basis of the roots, monocot have fibrous or adventitious roots. In case of the dicot seed, have a main tape root with the lateral branches also. On the basis of the floral organs, monocot have flower parts in the multiple of 3 in other side. In case of the dicot, in multiple of the 4 or 5 also. On the basis of the stem, vascularization, the vascular bundles in the monocots are scattered, whereas they form of a ringed structure in the dicots. On the basis of the pollen, monocot pollen has a single pore, but in case of the dicot pollen has 3 pores or furrows. After that, we have known about the comparison of the monocotyledons and dicotyledons seed. Germination process. The first step in the germination process is the metabolic activation of a dormant seed. Germination begins with the absorption of the water, which causes the gibberellins to be produced. Gibberellin, that is a hormone, triggers the synthesis of the amylase, which breaks down the starch into the maltose. Maltose is either hydrolyzed into the glucose for energy or polymerized to cellulose for cell wall formation. This energy and cellular building blocks is used to promote the cell division and the growth of a nascent shoots. Once the seed is metabolically activated, germination process according to the following stages. First is the seed coat or testa rupture and embryonic roots, that is radicle, grows into the ground to extract key nutrients and minerals. Second is the cotyledons emerge and produce the growing shoot first leaves, and after that the growing plants can be divided into the epicotyl, it means embryonic shoots, hypocotyl, embryonic stem, and developing the roots. So, germination process. What is the germination process of the monocot and dicot seeds? So, germination of the monocot seeds are the angiospermic seeds with only one cotyledons. As examples of these types of the seeds are wheat, rice, maize, barley, it means all cereals. orchids, etc. also. While the dicot seeds are seed with the two cotyledons. In monocot seeds, the radicle and cotyledons are covered by a chlorhiza and coleoptile respectively. The chlorhiza is the first part of the come out of the seed, followed by the radicle. The coleoptile is then pushed up through the ground until it reaches the surface. Then it stop elongation and then the first leaf emerges out from the seed and begins growing in upward directions. Now, dicot seed germination. In this case of the seed germination, the first plant part, that is the emerge out the embryonic root, termed as radicles or primary root. This allows the seedling to become anchored in the ground and start absorbing the water. At the same time, the hypocotyl begin to the elongate. While elongating, it pulls up the cotyledons and enclosed shoot above the soil surface. Once the cotyledons are above the soil surface, the hypocotyl moves upward up and the cotyledons begin to unfold. After the unfolding, the shoot growth continue and subsequently new leaves are the differentiated. Two types of seed germination has been found in case of the dicot seed. First is epigeial germination. In case of the epigeial germination, the hypocotyl elongate and forms a hook pulling the cotyledons and shoot above the soil. Once it reaches the surface, it pulls up the cotyledons and shoot tip the growing seedlings into the air. For as examples, in a beans and tamarinds also. In case of the hypogeial germination, the epicotyl elongates and forms the hook. The cotyledons stay underground and get decomposed later on, for example, in case of the peach and grams also. So, we discussed today also requirement of the seed germination. What types of atmosphere are required to the seed germination? The seed germination depends on the many factors, so many factors. The external factors include water, oxygen, temperatures, lights and right soil conditions. Different sets of the variable operate for the successful germination of the seed of different varieties. Now, let us to study the impact of the different factors on the seed germination. First is the water. How to affect the water to the germination? Germination requires the moist conditions. Mature seeds are extremely dry and need to take the significant amount of the water before their metabolism is resumed. The pressure caused by the imbibing water adds to cracking the seed coat. When the seeds are formed, most plants store large amounts of the food in the form of the starch, proteins or oils or the activity of the embryo inside the seed. When the seed imbibe water, hydrolytic enzymes such as the amylase are activated, breaking down of the stored food resources take place and give the energy to the seedling to grow. Now, second factor is the oxygen. It is the most seed respond the best when water levels are enough to moist the seeds and oxygen is readily available. Once the seed coat is softened and cracked, the germination seedling requires oxygen for its metabolism. If the soil is waterlogged, then there will be the death of the oxygen supply and prevent the seed from the germination, as it prevents the aerobic respiration, which is the main source of the seedlings emerging until it to start. Photosynthesis. Third is temperature and light is the most effective factor. Temperature is an important factor for the seed germination. Often seed have a set to temperature range for germination, and it will not germinate above or below a certain temperature. There are the minimum, maximum and optimum range of the temperature collectively. These are the called cardial temperature. Seed dormancy. Seed dormancy is defined as a state in which seeds are prevented from germination even under the environmental conditions normally favor the germination. These conditions are complex combination of the water, light, temperature, gases and mechanical restrictions, seed coats and hormones and their structure also. Often seed dormancy is divided into the two major categories based on the what part of the seed produce dormancy. Exogenous and endogenous. There are the three types of the dormancy based on the mode of their action: physical, physiological and morphological. Now, types of seed dormancy. The seed dormancy is of following types: intact dormancy. It is the conditions of the seed which is the incapable of the germination even if the conditions suitable for the seedling growth are supplied. The inability of the germination to may be due in certain species to the embryo being immature at the time of the dispersal. In case of the enforced dormancy, it is the conditions of the seed which is the incapable of the germination due to an environmental restraint or restriction, which is the includes an adequate amount of the moisture, oxygen, light and suitable temperature. And third is the induced dormancy. These types of the seed dormancy occurs when the seed has imbibed water but has been placed under the extremely unfavorable conditions for germination. Finally, seed fails to the germinate even under the more favorable condition also. Now, methods of the breaking the seed of the dormancy. The different methods of the breaking of the dormancy are mentioned below. The natural breaking of the seed dormancy is the first. Nature of the dormancy stops when the embryo gets appropriate environmental such as the adaptive and moisture and temperature. The seed coat that exists in the many species become permeable due to the rupturing of the smoothing action of the natural agents like the microorganism, temperature and abortion by the digestive tract of the birds and animals that feed on these seeds. Other natural methods include also. Now, first is completion of the over ripening period. Second, leaching of the inhibitors present in the seed coat. And third is inactivation of the inhibitors by the supply of the cold heat and light. Or next is leaching of the excess and highly concentration solution from the seeds. Other is production of the growth hormones, which can neutralize the effect of the inhibitors. In case of the artificial overcoming of the seed dormancy, here is some of the artificial methods used for the breaking the seed dormancy are listed below, in which first is action with the hot water for the termination of the waxes, surface inhibitor, etc. Second is rupturing of the seed coat by filling the chipping or threshing through machines. Third is exposure to the heat. It means it through the exposure to the heat, cold or light depending upon the types of the seed dormancy. Next is by the applying of the hydraulic pressures for 5 to 20 minutes in order to weaken the tough seed coats. It is very differ to seed to seed. Seed coats are also treated with the concentrated sulfuric acid and removing the all traces of the minerals acid. So, treatment to break the dormancy in the seed. How to given the treatment of the seed to their break the dormancy? There are the separate treatment to overcoming the dormancy and they are the further divided into the following groups. First is seed coat treatment. These treatments make a hard seed coat permeable to the water or gases either by softening or cracking. This process is called the scarification. So, it is the main is what is the scarification? So, the treatment can be either chemical or physical in nature. Embryo treatments of the seed, in which stratification. What is the stratification? The incubation of the seeds and appropriate low temperature over a moist layer before transferring to a temperature suitable for the germination. High temperature treatment incubation of 40 to 50 degrees centigrade for a few hours, it means half and 1 hour, it is differ to different types of seed to seed, to a few days. It may have an effect in overcoming the dormancy in some species of the seeds. For examples, rice seed treated with the hot water treatment at the 40 to 50 degree centigrade for at least 4 hours. So, their dormancy is break. So, easily germinate the rice. How to chemical treatment to break the dormancy? Plant growth regulators or other chemicals can be used in induce the germination growth regulators. Rice seed sowing. Well, students, now we will discuss how to rice sowing or wheat or maize or chickpea, so many agronomical crop, their sowing methods. Seed treatment is an essential component in the organic farming. The treatment protect against the insect pest attack and help the establishment of the healthy seedlings. We should use the following methods and inputs for the seed treatment in different crops. By cow dung. Soak the seed in case of the cow. How to use the cow dung to break the dormancy? It means soak the seeds in a mixture of 1 kg each of the cow dung, cow urine and water as a 1 liter and 100 gram of the cow ghee for 10 minutes. The seeds are set dried for the 6 to 10 hours. By the use of the neat seed kernel extract, about the 25 kg set dried neem seed kernel is crushed and the coarse powder is tied in a cotton cloth and immersed in the 50 liter of the water overnight. Next morning, cloth containing the soaked seed is squeezed to separate the extract. Again, the remaining of the neem seeds are dipped into the 50 liter of the water and extract completely. This extract is coated over the paddy seeds. The seeds should be dried in the shade for 6 hours before the sowing. Another is by use of the biofertilizer like that the azospirillum, azotobacter, pseudomonas, phosphobacteria, PSB, biofertisol are the common biofertilizers used for the paddy to break their seed dormancy. For seed treatment, 200 gram of azospirillum suspended in the 1 liter of the water. This mixture is sprinkled over the 25 kg of the seed, sprayed on a clean surface and mixed thoroughly to coat uniformly. If the azotobacter is available, 750 gram of the azotobacters mixed in the 1 liter of the water and in the slurry is uniformly coated over the seeds needed for the 1 hectare. Phosphobacteria, it means phosphorus soluble bacteria, PSB. It is already available in the powder form and liquid form anywhere. You can take it from universities or certain agencies, certified agencies. So, phosphobacteria at the rate of the 1.25 kg dissolved in the 5 liter of the water may also be used to break the dormancy. Yeah, protect from the various diseases and protect from the various insect pest management. This pest is uniformly coated over the seeds. The treated seeds should be dried in set and sown within the 6 hours of the treatment, as above I already told you. Detailed description of the biofertilizer is presented in the next block of this course by the other teachers. So, the seedlings before the transplanting may also be treated with the biofertilizers. Azospirillum, the rate of the 150 gram is mixed in 20 liters of the water, and root of the seedlings are also dipped in the mixture for the 10 minutes. Then you after transplant the rice. 2.5 kilogram the azospirillum will be sufficient in the treat the seedlings needed for the 1 hectare. If azotobacter is available, 600 gram azotobacter inoculants in the mix of the 20 liter of the water, and then seedling are the dip in the slurry of the 5 minutes. What is the method of sowing or broadcast or direct seeding? Sowing of the rice is various method. Sowing behind the plough or drilling method, again transplanting method. Now new concept is the system of rice intensification. In these techniques of SRI, seed is required very low, that is 5 to 6 kg only for 1 hectare, and one seeds or one plants after the within the 10 to 40 days of the seedlings are used for the planting in the field. So, we have get to more yield as compared to other in case of the system of rice intensification is gaining popularity now. This technique was originated in the Madagascar, developed by the Madagascar. Under SRI system, 6 to 8 kg rice seed is sufficient for the planting for 1 hectare area. The nursery size should be kept at 0.9 meter to 1.2 square meter length and width respectively. The seed bed is prepared on raised bed in the main field itself. Compost for organic manure at the rate of the 1 kg per square meter is mixed into the soil in the seed bed during the final plowing. As an alternative, seedling can also be raised on a plastic sheet by spreading the compost and top the soil mixed in equal proportion. 1 to 2 centimeter thickness of the layer in which taken. The seeds are soaked in the water for 12 hours and kept in the wet gunny bags for another 24 hours to initiate the germination of the rice seed. For protecting the seedling against the disease, how to protecting the seedling against the disease? In the organic cultivation of the crop, Pseudomonas inflorescens. 4 gram of per liter of the water should be mixed with the water used for soaking the seed with the Pseudomonas treatment. The germination seeds are broadcasted into the seed bed at the rate of the 200 gram per 3 square meter, and then the seeds are covered with a fine layer of the soil. The seed bed is irrigated daily in the evening with light sprinkle. After 8 to 12 days, vigorous and healthy seedlings are ready for the transplanting. While transplanting, only one seedling should be used per hill in case of the rice SRI system, system of rice intensifications. It is the new concept. So, the seedlings should be lifted gently from the seed bed and should be transplanted immediately. The root damage should be minimized. The seedlings should not be beaten or washed in the water to remove the soil as a practice. Traditionally, seedlings should be placed in 1 to 2 centimeter deep into the muddy soil. A spacing of the 25 into 25 centimeter should be have kept or adapted. It is the must. If seed bed, it may be increased to 30 to 30 centimeter or 40 to 40 centimeter, but at present only 25 to 25 centimeter is very successful. Sowing techniques of the wheat for your examples. So, each crop have the various methods of the sowing of the seed, treatment of the seed, method of the seed, irrigation, fertilizer is very differ to crop to the crop, but there are only for your example rice and wheat techniques, how to germinate the seed, breaking the dormancy, how to sowing, how to treat it with the biofertilizers, and how to sow or irrigation are given to the micronutrients or nutrients here is discussed. So, the optimum sowing up time of the wheat varies widely over the growing areas. It depends upon type of the variety, weather conditions, soil temperature, irrigation facilities and land preparation. In general, the maximum productivity potential of the promising wheat varieties under the irrigated condition is attained by the sowing them between the 10th to 25th November in all the climatic zones in the Rabi season or winter season. Other than the peninsular zone, rain-fed wheat is generally sown during the second fortnight of the October to early November. Under the specific circumstances, wheat is sown in the month of the December too, also as a late variety sown wheat. Only short duration varieties should be used. Seed rate and spacing of the wheat. Seed rate varies with the various variety. It depends on the various size of the variety of the wheat. It also depends upon the seed size, germination, percentage, tillering, ability, time of the sowing, moisture content in the soil and method of the soils. Usually, as a seed rate of the 100 kg per hectare is sufficient for the normal sowing of the wheat. For varieties with the bold grain like the Lok 1 or other so many varieties, under the late sown condition, seed rate should be increased to 125 kg in spite of the 100 kg as a general per hectare. In case wheat is to be sown by the dibbling method, a seed rate of the 25 to 30 kg only required per hectare is the sufficient. It is called SWI. This method is called SWI. It means system of wheat intensification, as just like SRI. So, for normal sown crop, a spacing of the 20 to 22.5 centimeter between the two rows is recommended. When the sowing is delayed, a closer spacing of the 15 to 18 centimeter should be adopted. Now, what is the method of the various sowing of the wheat? So many methods. First is the broadcasting. It is the very cumbersome method. It is a wide to it. Behind the local plough, it is useful for the marginal farmer also. Another is drilling method or dribbling method. It is the very cumbersome method and time taking. Zero tillage techniques is the very new techniques, particularly used in the rice zone area. Now, so friends and students, we have already discussed about the seeds, importance of the seeds, types of seed, dormancy of the seeds, structure of the seeds, how to break their dormancy, what is the scarification and stratification, what is the difference between the scarification and stratifications, and how to cultivate the crop of the rice, wheat, and especially focused on the modern technique of also as a system of rice intensification and SWI. So, now it is the okay. Again meet you tomorrow. Thanks students. Thanks for giving your time.